Hello and welcome back everybody. In this one we're returning to a region of Mars called Phrixi Rupes, and in particular a new site in that region where I discovered some more megalithic blocks and strange odds and ends. The high-rise photograph we're analysing here is called Curved Ridges Meeting Dark Plain, and as always I'll include the link to the original in the description below. This was acquired on the 15th of November 2016 at 27.8 centimeters per pixel resolution. The images I'm showing you are cropped from this JP2 black and white map projected file, just over 500 megabytes in size. There's a look at the low-res black and white, and the anomalies I'm going to show you are some of these white specks that are scattered about in this rather strange terrain. So this is the greater Phrixi Rupes region on Mars, and the high-rise photograph that we're looking at was snapped in this location over there. And at the time of this video, the high-rise photograph had not been loaded to Google Earth Mars yet. The first set of anomalies looked like megalithic blocks or slabs still next to one another, which is quite unusual. The one at the back there is about 14 meters wide. The one in the front about 10 to 12 meters wide. And we'll also have a look at the placement or alignment of smaller objects in geometric patterns. There we can see 4 in a row, for example, which is also quite commonplace on Mars. But let's zoom in on these and have a look at their construction up close. We can see they've got straight edges parallel to one another and right angles. And this one here we can see has a uniform depth to it. And then on top of it, a rather strange little triangular object with rounded edges. The second block or slab right there, about 15 meters wide, has straight edges as well, and right angles. It seems to be broken off over here, or perhaps it was even designed in this shape to fit tightly next to others that have been blown apart, and on top of it the usual protrusions or knobs. More blocks, folks. Check these out. This one over there is about 14 meters long, and also it has a uniform depth to it. Got a strange part over here. It looks like a piece of wreckage. Check out these jagged edges. Another piece over here with a hole in it right there in its center. Another block. This one over here, folks, is about 10 by 10 meters in size, and there's another one like it. Check out the straight edges, a right angle, and might even have a wedge shape to it. There's the next one, a little more rectangular, about 8 by 10 meters in size, and also it has straight edges, strange part over here. It sticks out a bit to the right, and right angles to that construction. A long narrow piece there. Also seen a couple of these in this region of Mars. That piece there is about 8 meters long and about a meter and a half wide. Also has a uniform depth to it, a slight curvature over here, and a slight curvature there to the top. So let's have a look at these up close. This one over here is about 12 meters long and about 8 meters wide. There's another part next to it parallel to this one edge, Check out the straight edges again, right angle, and also this one has a uniform thickness or depth to it. And we're looking at this huge object over there. Looks like some type of metal debris or wreckage. It's very bright, and that piece there is about 12 meters wide and about 20 meters long. Look at the jagged edges again, very similar to one of the previous ones we checked out. Straight edges, and then some smaller parts on it. We've got dark spots, don't know what these are. And that long narrow piece there. And we're looking at this object, which is about 15 meters wide. And it's got 2 slots in it. And then those 3 dark spots, possibly holes, or maybe those are being shadows cast by 3 smaller objects on the top. But look at the perfect triangular pattern in that. We'll see a couple of more of those. Here we're looking at what appears to be another piece of metal debris or wreckage, and that piece there is about 12 meters wide. It's got a straight edge there, comes down at 90 degrees, and at 90 degrees out this way another straight edge. It also seems to be slightly curved, and then a rather strange half a dome like part over here. Again, the top of looks like a hatch, don't know. And then 3 dark spots there. These 2 are directly in front of this object over here to the left. Another piece with a protrusion or knob on it, that there's about 12 meters wide, about 14 meters long. It's got like a little convex shape to it. Part in the middle seems to be hollowed out slightly, and then the smaller protrusion or knob in its center. Also very commonplace on Mars. We're looking at another strange part over here to the bottom left, about 14 meters wide, and again it looks like a piece of metal debris or wreckage. It's very thin, it's like a sharp edge to it. Look at that shadow there, and on top of it a triangular design, and off to the side here a smaller triangle. Check out the straight edges and the right angle there, and this side is parallel to this side. Looks very artificial in my opinion, folks. Then we're looking at this part, also has a strange like a V shape cut out of it there in the front, and that whole part there's about 16 meters wide. So check this out. Got like a V shape there, almost 90 degrees, and if you draw a center line through there, we've got that smaller part in the center. That might even be a hole. But right in the center of this strange symmetrical object, we've got 2 rounded sides, and then the V over there, and then off through the center line perpendicular to it we've got this part over there. Looks like another one of these partial or half a disc shaped objects. Check out this piece, long narrow rectangular part. It's also got a strange arc on the side, like an arch, also very commonplace on Mars. We've found a couple of these as well, and that there's about 5 meters wide by about 12 meters long. As I say, it's got this strange curvature to it, like a arch, a right angle there, And then off to the back here, we've got that triangular piece sticking out into the atmosphere. That's a weird thing as well. So very bright, it's got a very sharp edge to it. So I say maybe this is a type of metallic object. Very straight edges to it. Now we're looking at this object, which is about 15 meters long, and on top of it we've got 3 objects in a row, and then coming off perpendicular to that line we've got this dark spot here. And also check out what looks like a bevel on the top, parallel to this side, and that one there is parallel to that side. Also seen a couple of these designs on Mars as well. Then we're looking at the placement or alignment of those smaller objects there. This piece at the bottom is about 14 meters long. We've got the 3 dark spots, or maybe these are shadows cast by smaller objects. But check out the spacing between those and the size of these that are the same, and they're parallel to this one side. Right, there's another block over there with a geometric pattern on it. This object at the bottom is about 12 by 12 meters in size, and again check out the triangle in that design there. Right, then we're looking at this strange block down here to the bottom right, and that's about 10 by 10 meters in size. Got straight edges again, a right angle, has like a uniform thickness to it. On top of it we've got 2 dark spots and a little conical feature off to the one side, so there's another triangle in that shape. Here we're looking at that smaller block, which is about 6 by 6 meters in size. Straight edges, rounded corners, 90-degree right there, and then on top of it a small spherical object right there in its center. Another very unusual part over here, that's about 12 by 15 meters in size. It's just got a very bright surface to it, slightly rounded like a convex shape, and in its center got a dark spot right there. Right, then we're looking at this object, about 12 meters across, and on top of it we've got a small dome. It seems to be inside an area that's been hollowed out slightly, and on each side of it we've got a dark spot. Check that out. And we're looking at another rectangular part there, folks. That's about 10 meters long and about 5 meters wide, and again it's got a very jagged edge to it. Looks almost like it could be some type of wreckage or debris. And on top of it, in the center there, we've got another one of these strange parts sticking up there. This seems to be slightly hollowed out, a small protrusion dome-like feature there in its center. Another one of those, this one's about the same size, folks, and in its center another one of these strange half a dome-like shapes, and on either side we've got 2 dark spots. Another small object there with a hole in it right there in its center, folks. This one is about 4 meters wide, and there's another one over here to the left, also with a dark spot in its center. This is a weird piece. That there's about 5 meters long, and it's got a strange arc to it. Look at that design. We've seen something similar in some other JP2s as well. This looks like it's an opening to an underground entranceway perhaps. That there's about 15 meters wide. It's got a triangular block on the one side, and underneath it this darker material there. Don't know what's going on here, folks, but this looks like it could be a hole with this stuff sticking out of the opening. There's another square part over here to the left. Alright, let's go down to that site in Phrixi Rupes. So I say it's down in the southern mid-latitudes of Mars, and we analyzed that area there. I've also discovered 3 other sites with similar anomalies close by, so let's check out those quickly for summary, so that when we make comparisons we can see there's some similarities in the artifacts in this area of Mars. So just to the south, got another very long narrow part, got like a uniform thickness to it as well, part sticking out there to the right. This over here looks like an opening, and that part there fits inside it, so it looks like some type of metal, the way it bends up over here. Another block. Check out the geometry in those 5 smaller objects there. 2 here, 2 here on this side, and then 1 off here to the right. Another strange carved or sculpted piece there. Look at that small disc with a dome on it. That disc there is about 4 meters wide, and it's on top of what looks like some type of landing pad perhaps, who knows. Another one of those weird tombstone shaped objects with a dark spot on it right there through its center line again. Again, look at the placement or alignment of those smaller objects. 4 placed in a square. More objects with smaller parts in their centers. That there looks like a little obelisk sticking out of the surface there. Another rectangular part, also slightly bent up. It looks like a piece of metal. And yeah, look at this strange circular object. It's got 2 straight edges, yeah? Rounded part there, very symmetrical as well. A small square object on the top of what looks like a hole that's in the center of that piece. Plectrum shaped object there with a square part on the top. There's another little triangle on that rectangular base there. We've seen that as well. In this over here, quickly go to that image for reference, and that's the type of layout we've seen quite often. Check that out. pumpkin seed shaped object there. Perfectly symmetrical as well. Okay, let's have a look at one or two more sites. This one is slightly to the southeast. And again, we've got similarities, folks. There we've got a large object with a small part in its center, and then two parts, one on either side of that, in a row as well. Two parallel openings on that. Look at this small rectangular part there, parallel to this side. And then on the other side, that looks like a small pyramid. A huge perfect hole in this piece. Another little triangular object on top of this. And we've seen many discs on Mars as well. Right, one last site. Let's go up here to the Murcia region. Oh yes, that's where I found that object that looks like the Millennium Falcon or Baltic Sea anomaly. And there's two rather weird, very narrow parts sticking up into the atmosphere. This looks like could be a type of a monolithic block. Check out that long shadow. And this too, maybe this is like a disc shape. Look at the round shadow, and it's and it fits there on top of a hole, like a hatch. Okay, one last one. Relic south of Phrixi Rupes. Just check out all these anomalies, folks. Another disc with a small part there in its center, straight edges on this piece with a right angle. Also there, right angles to that, folks. Parallel sides. Half a disc with a protrusion or knob on it. It's also quite common on Mars. Another one of those long rectangular parts. And again, a small little triangle top of a larger part, and one side is always parallel to the other. Got a long narrow block there, and it's got small designs on it. That's inside this L-shaped piece. Check out this. Looks like smashed up sheet metal. Smaller part over there, bridging that gap between those two objects. Look at this part on top of this. It's a long narrow piece, rectangular in shape, and on the side here it's got these two round parts. Here too we've got two large parts, smaller object on top, bridging the gap between them. There's another one of those long narrow pieces. Looks like an obelisk that toppled over. Check, there's another little triangle on top of a larger base. Don't know what that is. Disc. Maybe this is two different objects that fit together. Look at that bevel. And then on top of it, right there in its center again, folks, you've got a small block. That's it for this one, folks. Thank you for watching. do let me know in the comments below what you think of these anomalies, especially the similarity between these objects and the surrounding terrain. So, to my new subs, thank you for joining the channel. Much appreciated, folks. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.